Timor-Leste's Prime Minister joins ASEAN leaders to shape region's future in Hanoi. Children call for quality education and respect on International Children's Day in Oikusi. Ermera vanilla farmers share progress and concerns with high-level visitors. In an interview with RTTL World News, United States Embassy charged the affairs, claims U.S. foreign aid cuts a realignment of support. Australian barramundi fishing competition wraps up after weeks of delays in Northern Territory. Welcome back to RTTL World News. I'm Sonny Madeira. Leaders and policymakers from across Asia gathered in Hanoi, Vietnam to exchange perspectives on the direction of the region at the third ASEAN Future Forum. Addressing the dialogue, Timor-Leste's Prime Minister Xander Gusmão called for patience and cooperation as delegates discussed the region's collective response to emerging global challenges.
Timor-Leste's Prime Minister seated in prime position at his first ASEAN Future Forum. Vietnam's Prime Minister Len Minh Ham opened the third ASEAN Future Forum in Hanoi early this week, highlighting the theme of shaping our future together, peace, prosperity, people-centered.
ASEAN's greatest achievement over nearly 6 decades has been showing the world that differences need not lead to division. Unity does not come at the expense of diversity, and integration can go hand in hand with the preservation of identity.
Secretary General of ASEAN, Dr. Kau Kim Han, highlighted ASEAN's position as a beacon of regional multilateralism.
Throughout its history, ASEAN has really had the luxury of certainty. What it has had is the perseverance of working together despite differences and the wisdom to turn adversity into advantage.
Prime Minister Gusmão highlighted the importance of cooperation in a time of rising conflict, intolerance, and geopolitical tension across the globe.
In this difficult global environment, ASEAN remains an important example of dialogue, patience, and regional cooperation.
He also addressed the threat that artificial intelligence poses to a peaceful future.
AI development is concentrated in a small number of companies and countries. If we do not act, AI will deepen inequality, spread misinformation, deepen divisions, and weaken trust. It will concentrate economic power in ways that leave whole nations behind.
Looking forward, leaders expressed hope in the role that the Future Forum will play in ASEAN's development and the benefits of its bilateral outcomes.
The measure of success will be how far our dialogue will strengthen ASEAN's capacity to anticipate change, adapt to new realities, and shape its own future for the benefits of ASEAN, the wider region, and the world at large.
On the sidelines, Prime Minister Gusmão and his delegation held a multilateral meeting with Parliamentary Under Secretary of State and Minister for the Indo-Pacific of the United Kingdom, Sema Malhotra, reviewing progress in Timor-Leste United Kingdom relations and exploring opportunities to further strengthen cooperation in areas of mutual interests. Following the forum, the delegation met with Vietnam's Prime Minister to explore opportunities to deepen cooperation across sectors such as trade, agriculture and fisheries, education, tourism, telecommunications, digital transformation, and food and energy security. Jerry Madeira, RTTL World News.
International Children's Day was celebrated in Oikusi last week, honoring the rights and well-being of the nation's youth. But amid the celebration, children and advocates called on the government to invest more in education and take serious action against any form of violence against children.
Through music and art, these children are using their talents to stand up for their rights.
We did a drama about parents' responsibility and we performed traditional dance.
It's our right to go to school and study.
12-year-old Deolinda and 13-year-old Paulino worry about their friends working hard to support their families' daily needs.
I'm sad because many of my friends go to the market to sell things and don't go to school.
12-year-old Alcino hits the streets to sell cigarettes. He told RTTL that he is not going to school because his family cannot afford to support his education.
There are 6 of us and my parents do not have job, so I need to help by selling cigarettes at the market.
His story is not unique. The 2016 National Child Labor Survey reveals that more than 67,000 children aged 5 to 17 years are engaged in some form of economic activity. Nationally, almost 24% of Timorese children aged between 6 to 11 do not attend school.
We see many children selling stuff because of their economic situation at home, so they take on more responsibility to sell things to support their family.
In Timor-Leste, over 40% of the population live under the poverty line, forcing thousands of Timorese children to step in to support their families. Mary McKillop today expressed its commitment to working with all stakeholders to raise public awareness on child protection and children's education.
According to the recent data from UNICEF, around 40% of children live under the poverty line. Many of them do not have food to eat every day and do not have access to health service and education. Many of the children also do heavy labor at home and in the streets, not only in Oikusi, but other municipalities too.
Ms. Jimenez urged local parents and families to care for their children.
Please love your children. Please protect your children from the harm, from the violence, from the sexual exploitation and abuse, because those children are the future of this nation, and you are the protector for those children.
Goodwill Ambassador for Education, Kirsty Guzmao, called on the government to invest more in children's education.
So it's very important. The reading ability opens a world of knowledge and understanding for children. So I guess the low standards of literacy and numeracy would be my biggest concerns. But of course there are so many other challenges. School infrastructure, adequate running water and toilets, sanitation facilities for children.
According to UNICEF, 66% of basic education schools do not have functioning toilets, while 40% of basic education schools do not have drinking water. Approximately 70% of grade 1 students do not meet basic learning outcomes.
We know that many children still take up to 4 years in their primary education to learn to read and write. And this is a huge barrier to their ongoing success at school, because when kids first start school, they learn to read, but then later on they read to learn. So if they don't know how to read, it cuts off access to a whole lot of curricular content in other areas like science and mathematics, natural science, social science.
Now we are at the phase where children can learn from singing, playing, reciting poems, and counting using their hands. But the challenge remains to deliver this, so we need to learn more.
Celebrating the rights, talents, and potential of Timor-Leste's youngest citizens, and a stark reminder that protecting and investing in children is essential to nurturing the nation's future. Pauline Quintown, Judas Magno, RTTL World News.
Vanilla and coffee growers in Rttl.Ep received official visits from key international figures to observe the benefits of an agroforestry project implemented by Mary McKillop today. Plantation owners took the opportunity to share their concerns about how the varying market price of their products is impacting their operations.
When we do looking, we have hang the vanilla in this bag.
Proud farmers showcase their agricultural abilities to high-level visitors in Ermera. Representatives from the European Union, International Labour Organization, and Mary Mackillop today heard from Rttl.Ep growers as they shared their experiences of vanilla and coffee production.
We have to leave 3 noodles
In 2025, an agroforestry training program funded by the EU was implemented by ILO and MMT across 5 villages in Ermera.
This visit is very important because without the support of Mary Mackillop today, we will not be able to grow vanilla. With the presence of ILO and MMT, we feel happy because through their training, we can grow vanilla until it can give us fruits and we can access the market.
1 flower, 1 beans. And every day we have to come to pollinate. Every day.
Through the program, 434 vanilla farmers received guidance in vanilla growing, harvesting, processing, curing, and organic fertilizer production.
I wanted to see how our training together with the ILO changed people's life. I learned how vanilla is grown and how vanilla is harvested, and I think it's really fascinating, really. Now I understand why it's so expensive, because it takes so much care and so much work and so much skills as well.
It's really demonstrated how the farmers learning from the project that in terms of earning some benefit from the training and then get the result of the vanilla and then sell it, get money and then diversify their money for their family.
Mr. Suarez already operates about 400 vanilla plantations and plans to plant more, but is concerned about the varying price of his product.
At first, the price was high, but as farmers, we do not know. Suddenly the price goes down, but we don't lose hope. We continue to plant more vanillas to increase the quantity of the harvest.
In the past, we sold it in Dili for $50 per kilo. It made us really happy, so we planted more. But now the price has dropped. It is sad, and the water source is far away. We canalize it as best as we can, but during the dry season, it's hard to get water. So we need more support, especially water tanks and pipes.
Hearing of the challenges faced by rural vanilla growers, Mr. Bragfred was eager to learn more.
My feeling is that cooperatives, of course, help to buffer the consequences of different prices. And maybe there's something to look at the market structure to see how many people are buying, who's setting the price. I'm keen to discover a little more about this.
We will discuss it further with the European Commissions and ILO that to some extent that they can support equipment for the farmers if they have a significant number of vanilla that they require any resources such as water tanks and hose as well.
Every day you have to go, but not every day same flower.
The EU ambassador hoped to see production increase and explore the possibility of export.
It would be very beneficial for the vanilla farmers in Timor-Leste if they could export. But for that, there's a need for quantity, there's a need for quality. At the European Union, we are certainly happy to help and find solutions also to export.
A small bean that yields a massive harvest of hope for rural communities. Vicky Madeira, Basti Noronha, RTTL World News.
Almost 12 months after he assumed his duties as charge d'affaires at the United States Embassy in Timor-Leste, Bruce Bagnell sat down with RTTL World News to discuss the embassy's role in Timor-Leste's ASEAN integration and its ongoing development initiatives. Mr. Bagnell also addressed the Trump administration's cuts to the United States Global Aid Fund, calling the cuts a realignment of support and claiming they had no local impact. In 2025, the administration shut down foreign aid agency USAID across the world, including Delhi, while the $400 million Millennium Challenge Cooperation Program was also terminated in Timor-Leste, leaving multiple projects and organizations, including a significant water and sanitation plan, without vital funding.
What role did the U.S. Embassy play in supporting Timor-Leste's integration into ASEAN last year, and why?
We did it through multiple programs for the years leading up to ASEAN, and then even we're continuing to do so post a session where there are various programs. For example, we contribute greatly into governance. We provide technical support. And in addition, we conducted a lot of infrastructure build out and also provided expertise in certain areas. Some of the items that you saw included into digital trade, for example.
Last year, the Trump administration made major cuts to the United States Agency for International Development. How have these cuts impacted the U.S. government's support for Timor-Leste?
Okay, so what the administration did was realign support globally. And what it was is it was more to target what could be accomplished. In the case of Timor-Leste, it was realigning our aid packages to address economic resilience, for example, and then also to address certain key critical areas like maternal care and nutrition programs.
What can you say to organizations and individuals impacted by these cuts?
So I don't think there was necessarily an impact if you consider this from past programs. As I mentioned, this is about redirecting to be impactful foreign assistance programs. So for example, our current project in Manufahi, it addresses the new mothers and the young babies that they're raising to ensure that they get adequate care and food.
What ongoing initiatives does the U.S. government provide to support health, education, defense, and security in Timor-Leste?
One of our biggest ones is around law enforcement training. We're trying to greatly enhance the capability of the way law enforcement is conducted within Timor-Leste, working with PNTL, for example. This helps in addition with your ASEAN roadmap. One of the biggest ones, of course, is around just cybersecurity in general. So we are providing assistance for that arena, working closely with other partners to help enhance cyber protections and also to train individuals on how to detect certain activities. A good example of that was, for example, the scam center that was detected by PNTL out in Okusi. That was a result of the training that we have provided.
What can you say about the future of the United States bilateral relationship and long-term collaboration with Timor-Leste?
So Timor-Leste is a very important partner to the United States. Timor-Leste provides, especially with their accession to ASEAN, provides regional stability in the Indo-Pacific area. So we have a great interest in supporting the growth and your maturity within the ASEAN organization. We are going to continue to provide support through various programs. For example, we have the U.S. Navy Seabees who come out here and help build infrastructure, and that includes into schools and to medical centers. We are going to continue to strengthen our relationships. A good example of this was last week, our Assistant Secretary for East Asia and Pacific, Ambassador Michael George Desambre, was here in country reaffirming our relationship and building additional relationships on how we can provide that type of support.
The United States will celebrate in 250th anniversary July this year. How do you and the embassy plan to celebrate here in Timor-Leste?
We are taking actually the entire concept of the 250th anniversary to be a year-long event. So this year we've been focusing on something called Freedom 250. We have various efforts underway. One of those is the opening of a center with UMA America, for example. In addition, we are doing additional outreach to other groups, and I'm going to use this as a plug to recommend that Timorese do consider our Waisili and Fulbright programs, and so that gets them to better understand some of the I would say efforts that we do and how they can bring those skills back to help contribute.
Thank you very much for talking with RTTL News.
Thank you very much for having me.
In international news, a big week of fishing has wrapped up on the Northern Territory's Daly River as the Barra Nationals came to an end last week. The tournament was delayed by 6 weeks after record-breaking floods in the region caused the river to burst its banks. The debris from the floods added a new set of challenges to an already difficult and expensive competition.
The side of a river in the Northern Territory's remote top end is a place no one wants to get stuck.
Yeah, and I'll just swing around with the electric and try to get it as close as I can.
The biggest worry was the afternoon before. We'd seen a big bull buffalo and a big scrub bull there chewing away, and then you've also got the crocodiles cruising around.
But sometimes in Australia's biggest barramundi fishing competition, there are no other options.
Just bumped the log down the bottom of the S-bends. So she was just, she'd spun the prop, so we changed that.
Hundreds of anglers travel thousands of kilometres each year to the Daly River, 3 hours south of Darwin, for the Barra Nationals fishing tournament. In the competition's 30 years, fish finding and navigation technology has come a long way.
It's reached way above what we thought it would. Where's it going to go next?
But sometimes even the most advanced technology is no match for the Daly River.
There's a fair few big fish sitting on the bottom, but yeah, trying to navigate the logs on the top is probably the biggest challenge so far today.
We rode the log off to the left-hand side and tore the bottom of the hull up.
We sent it a little too hard. Yeah, we've done a prop. Again, we're on to our third one now, so.
Side by side.
Jeff Cook and a group of friends started the Barra Nationals in 1996. This year he's back for the first time in 24 years.
The biggest carnage I've seen is this year with those two boats that got ripped apart. But that speed, power, the way they are these days, in the early days, there wasn't a boat that could do 60, 70 kilometres an hour down the river.
He says that's not the only thing that's changed since the competition began all those years ago.
One of those boats was $250,000 with electronics and everything on it, Well, I only paid, $60,000 for my first house.
The price tags might be getting bigger and the technology more advanced, but the dangers of the river aren't going anywhere and the anglers keep coming back for more.
When May Beveridge took up the sport of croquet at the age of 80, she didn't know it could end up with her winning a place in the Guinness Book of Records. That was 20 years ago, but when she recently took to the green at Lakes Entrance, Victoria, she was attempting to become the world's oldest competitive female players at the ripe old age of 101.
As far as record breakers go, May Beveridge is as humble as they come.
I'm hoping that it's made all my family and the club very proud of me.
The 101 years young croquet player from Lakes Entrance loves her family, her club and her community.
Best club in Australia. Just lovely people that support you and look after you.
She's just been a stalwart of the club, foundation member, and yeah, we just love her.
For May, croquet has simply been a part of her life for 20 years. So she was bemused when club officials told her she might just be the oldest woman to ever play the sport competitively.
Well done. I thought it was a joke. I said yes. He said it'll just be a fun day. I never dreamt it would turn out to be what it is today.
Oh, it's just phenomenal. Yeah, no, she's an absolute marvel. She just won her first game.
With perfectly set curls and a pocket full of jubes, May plays with the same grace she takes through life.
I'm afraid I do get a bit competitive, but I don't care whether I win or lose, but I do try my hardest.
May says the secret to her success lies in finding a great club, looking after yourself and adopting a bit of healthy competition. And while she may not have tasted victory today,
How'd you go? Terrible. Shocking.
she certainly lives like a winner.
No good just sitting at home in your slippers and your dressing gown. You have to get up and get out.
The proof's in the pudding.
And now the weather, starting with Dili. Mostly cloudy with a top temperature of 32 and a low of 22 degrees. Mostly cloudy in Baucau with temperatures ranging between 29 and 19 degrees. In Lautem, partly sunny with a high of 28 and a low of 21 degrees. Sunny with areas of high clouds in Bobonaro, a top temperature of 27 and a low of 15. And in Aileu, clouds increasing throughout the day with temperatures ranging between 26 and 13. Now looking abroad. Breezy in the morning in Kupan, otherwise humid with plenty of sunshine, a high of 32 and a low of 23. In Bali, partly sunny with a couple of afternoon showers, temperatures ranging between 33 and 21. Cloudy in Jakarta with occasional rain and a thunderstorm in the afternoon, a top of 33 and a low of 24. In Seoul, partly sunny with a high of 30 and a low of 19 degrees. Intervals of clouds and sunshine in Darwin, temperatures ranging between 32 and 22 degrees. In Sydney, mostly cloudy with a morning shower, a high of 19 and a low of 15 degrees. Sunny in Lisbon, temperatures ranging between 27 and 18 degrees. Cloudy in London, a top temperature of 21 and a low of 13. And in Belfast, intervals of clouds and sunshine, a top temperature of 18 and a low of 10 degrees. Thanks for joining us again on the program. RTTL World News will be back with more stories on Thursday. Bye for now.